we can have questions from the media about the work that she has done, especially about the latest film that if he's going to screen. And then I would also request Mr. Petrisky to tell about the association that he's had with Miss Holland and about the work that he has done.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm curious in the first place about what you want to know about my movies and myself. Yeah?
Yeah, sorry, allow me just two small points. First is the title of your last film, The Burning Bush. Now, The Burning Bush, it is a derivative of these Australian and New Zealand forest fires. They're referred to as the bush fires. So how did you derive the name Burning Bush? Because the whole thing takes place in an urban setting, towns and cities. You scarcely go to the village area where there are woods and sudden fires caused by nature.
Burning Bush, the title is taken from the biblical symbolism. Moses, when he met the God shown his face to him in the bush which was burning. And this bush was burning forever. He didn't burn out. And it's the symbol of, in some way, of the freedom fight of this young man who put himself on fire, because the film starts with the young student, Jan Palach, who put himself on fire to protest against the destruction of freedom in his native country. And it looked that the communist authorities succeed to destroy the memory about his act and the meaning of his act. Everything what they wanted to do, it was to let people forget that Jan Palach existed, why he did what he did, and for whom he did it. And for 20 years it looked that they did succeed. That the society, that the nation forget it, that they didn't want to talk about it, that they didn't want to follow this kind of the example. And after 20 years, suddenly, on the anniversary of his death, the young people woke up, the people who could be the children of Jan Palach, because he was 21 when he died, but 20 years later he could be their parent, their father. And they to commemorate the 20th anniversary of his death, they organized the huge demonstrations. And those demonstrations marked the beginning of the fall of the communist regime in Czechoslovakia. So in some way, this burning bush was still burning. That it was like the straight symbol, I think, the screenwriter had in mind when he put this title on this story. The story is not a revolutionary story. It means it's not about how wonderful it is to fight and die for freedom. The story shows the gray and grayest sides of the people choices, and how difficult it is to live in the society where the official ideology uses all military and political means to destroy your individual choices.
I will tell a few words about Kieślowski and Holland, because this is a very interesting comparison for a cameraman. They were totally different for DOP, because Agnieszka is very much taking care about the picture, and I have the feeling that the quality, the look of the picture has the same value for her as the philosophy, meaning, story, and everything else. With Kieślowski it was completely opposite. During our work together in the 70s mainly, I had the total freedom. he would never look into the camera. He would never ask me. During our, we did together 4 films, I think, 4 films. Once he addressed me saying, you know, are you sure it's a good lighting? And that was the only remark he did, and he was right, by the way. The lighting was not good. But otherwise, he was so concentrated on the story that the cinematographer had the full freedom to create what he wanted and full confidence of him.